computer. All right, so we're going to do a lung stretching workshop today. I think that I don't usually use the word lung stretching, but it's just the word that everybody knows. So when I was putting it around, I was like, oh, lung stretching, you know, because we're obviously not stretching the lungs. And I think that calling it lung stretching implies that it has a lot to do with our actual lungs, which it doesn't really so much. It's all about the muscles that surround the lungs. It's all about the muscles in the thoracic cavity. I think if we were to, you know, the greatest contribution the lungs have is that we are in many ways using the lungs to stretch the tissues around it. So we are doing stretches on full breaths. We're doing stretches as we breathe deeply, and we use the lungs themselves to stretch the muscles that surround them. So if you have food in your stomach, this will be interesting. So it's best because we're gonna do like full lung stretches and then empty lung stretches. So we're effectively preparing for two things, right? So if we stretch with air in the lungs, we are aiming to increase the size of the final breath that we can take, or we're aiming to increase our total lung capacity. Very different than increasing your lung capacity, right? Because I get asked the question a lot about, like, does this increase your lung capacity? And the answer to that is that no, like no stretching and things like that will increase like your functional lung capacity. You know, for the most part, exercise is the only thing that will really do that. But it will increase the size of the final breath that you can take. So that's what we're after here. So it will increase your total lung capacity, not your functional lung capacity. And then all the exhale stretching that we're going to be doing, they're all about decreasing. You know, I suppose, once again, we used to say things like, oh, it decreases your residual volume, but that's not really true because the residual volume remains the same regardless. But it improves your ability to handle the pressure that is placed on the muscles around your lungs, because you do make them more inwardly flexible. And it improves your ability to then access the air in your lungs when your lungs are at residual volume or below. Because you can still take air out of your lungs when your lungs are at residual volume or less than residual volume. You just have to reverse pack to do it. You know what I mean? You can't you know, use your respiratory muscles to get the air out. That's all. That's the only difference. So that's what we're really working on, is taking a bigger breath and then being able to access the air deeper when we do things like that. All right, so fun physical hour or so. Yeah. Sachin's face was just like amazing. Okay. So what we do first is, sorry?
Your shirt is distracting. I don't know where to look.
Oh, I know, right? Do you remember this shirt from Deep Week?
No, I've never been to Deep Week yet.
What? Why did I think you had?
Because twice I had to cancel.
Aha.
Okay,
because I'm like, I've been looking at that name on a list. I feel like I've been looking at your name on a list for so long. But this is the shirt that I wear to the after party all the time. A friend of mine made it for me once, and I just thought it was so fun that I just decided to wear it. There's some pretty cracking shots of my face. Oh, it is.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was actually the only clean shirt I had this morning because it's been raining a lot here. So I was like, I was looking through my cupboard like, what am I doing? And I was like, oh, you know, like they can't smell me. I'll just put an old shirt on. And then I saw this, like, oh, here we go. Okay, so what we'll do first is we're going to start with some dynamic stretching. So the dynamic stretching is basically when we are breathing and moving. That's dynamic stretching. Then we're going to move to some static stretching, which is when we are effectively holding stretched positions. You know what I mean? Like that's a static stretch when we do that. And then we're going to move to using our lungs to stretch. So we're going to really warm up before we get to that part. And just so you know, like doing any kind of like stretching, there's always a risk of injury. In this case, the injury will be to the muscles that surround your lungs. So if you feel any pain or any discomfort, just stop. I mean, the risk of injury is not high, but you know what I mean. Just a disclaimer. Cool. All right, I'm just going to move my computer back so you can see me a little bit more room. Oh, spilled my coffee everywhere. I knew I was going to it though. Like when you're carrying back a big table and there's coffee or a drink on it, you're like, this is going to spill. And then it does. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, so let's all get up. Woo!
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Hey, Haisha.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. The first one is going to be, we're going to raise our arms as we inhale as deeply as we can. And then as we drop our arms, we're going to exhale. Well, not as deep, not as quickly as we can, but we're going to try to do a good full exhale. So it's going to look like this. You can go as slow or as fast as you like. But basically, this is it. Do 6 or 7 of those. Ah, Jeff. When Jeff comes in, everybody just say, "My name is Jeff." Hello, Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. Okay, now the second one is going to be the same thing, but we're going to be doing exhaling as we get into this position and inhaling as we open up. Ready? So like this. Let's aim to do 10 of them, nice and slow, or whatever pace you can sort of handle. So. I totally forgot to count. Good. Good. Now we're going to do the other way. We're going to inhale as we close up. So it's going to be like putting pressure and stretching the back muscles. Woo! Good. Okay. The next one is going to be something similar to the first, but we're going to take in a deep breath, so like a full breath, or maybe like an 80% breath. If we do a full breath, it might be a bit too intense. And as we're going to like take a full breath in, and lift our arms up above our head like this, and we're going to hold the breath in, relax the shoulders, relax the arms, and we're going to twirl like this, just for about maybe like 15 seconds, and we'll start to breathe again. But it'll be done on a just about full breath. So. Nice. Yeah. Now, exact same thing, but the other way. The other arms. What do they do? Yeah, this way now. Cool. All right. I totally got confused as to like which way I was going. Cool. So, that's more or less, that's going to be our dynamic part of this warm up, because what we're doing right now is we're really just warming up the lungs, right? We're really just warming up the muscles that surround the lungs to get them moving. So the next stretch that we're going to do is going to be a static stretch. So you're going to find like a wall, and you're going to get your arm and put it at a 45-degree angle like this. And you're going to then just sort of like turn. You feel the stretch right through your chest muscles, so your pecs. You're going to do this on any wall or any surface. And when we're in that position, we're going to breathe deeply into the chest. So like breathe like deeply and continuously. It's like get some good breaths going. Okay. So 45-degree angle. 90 angle. 45 a bit. Breathing nice and deep into the chest. All right, I'm going to shake the arm out a little bit so it doesn't get all dead. And we're going to do the exact same thing, but with a straight arm. Now we're going to straighten the arm. And turn as much as you can and breathe. Good. All right, other side. 90 degrees at first, bent elbow. Breathe deep into that chest. All right, straighten the arm. Beautiful. Cool. We're gonna keep going with that. I'm just gonna preface something. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, I feel like I'm like a 1990s aerobics instructor. All right, and great. Now let's work it, and back, and forward, and back.
Yeah.
So you can see, like with the exercises that we're doing, I know that sometimes when if you've ever done any lung stretching before, you've ever done some stuff with other people, I know that sometimes it's really easy to go straight to the part of the exercise where you're doing full inhales and stretching the body. But you can see, like what we're doing here, every single exercise that we've done has been either breathing deep with the body in like a stressed position, in a stretched position, or doing active breathing as the body is opening up into stretching positions. And then just as effective as what we're going to move to towards the end, which is when we take in full breaths and sit statically and then stretch it out in that position. Cool? Just to kind of like contextualize what we've been up to. How you doing, Jeff?
Good, man.
Good. All right. We've been doing some mostly just like breathing stretching at this stage. But just hop in wherever you're at. We're gonna do some lung stretching. We're gonna do some breath holds at the end too, because that's always fun. We don't have a lot of time, but I have a fun little thing for you guys, which I know you're gonna love. All right. So the next one we're gonna do is the warrior pose from the yoga. Which is when you. Let me see if I might have to move once again the computer back a little bit. Yeah. Oh, tilt this. There we go. Okay.
That's sure.
Right? All right. So we're gonna put your feet twice your shoulder width apart, and you bend. Move. Actually, I'm gonna put the computer on the floor so you can see everything I'm doing. Otherwise, there we go. Yeah.
So you're selling that shirt, right?
Sorry?
You're selling that shirt, right?
No, I only have one. A friend of mine made this for me as a joke, and I wear it to every Deep Week after party. I don't.
You should
I don't
put
know
that
how.
for sale on Patreon.
Sorry?
Put that for sale on Patreon, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, is it not a weird thing to sell a shirt that is just like a mishmash of your face? Is that not a?
Do it.
Okay. You can. Okay, so twice shoulders apart, facing that leg outward, bending to like a 90-degree angle, and then holding this stretch position. Just do this at whatever level you can, even if you have to just sort of be like this. You don't have that flexibility up on the arm or the ribs here. As we're doing this, we're going to be breathing deeply into our intercostal muscle. Yes. Yeah, get lazy. Actually, you think better if you hold it out. I won't be lazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, work, guys. Feel the burn. Oh yeah. All right. Now the other side. Good stuff. All right. Now you're going to want to come down to a seated position. Now, you can be sitting on something or sitting on the floor. You can be sitting cross-legged. I don't really have the flexibility in my lower back to sit cross-legged and be straight, so I sit like sitting on my feet. So what we're going to do now is, I think I mentioned this last time, that this little exercise was something I saw Sarah Campbell doing with all her students. And I thought it was so funny when I first saw it, and then I started doing it. I was like, oh wow, that works really well. So all we're going to do is inhale. It's going to be a really fast, aggressive set of breathing. We're going to inhale as deeply as we can into our chest and open the chest up like this. And then we're going to exhale as hard as we can and close the chest. So, you might get a bit dizzy and lightheaded, but this actually really opens things up in a great way, even though it looks crazy. So it looks like this. So maybe we'll just do like, I don't know, maybe 10 breaths and take a break, then do 10 breaths again. So we'll break it up. All right, let's do it. So let's count 10 breaths and we'll have a little rest. Otherwise we're all going to fall over. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo! Yeah. So you really like use the arms to pull your chest forward and then push it back. And the shoulders, Yeah. Have a little rest because, otherwise someone's going to fall over. All right, you ready? Okay. I forgot to count. Okay, that should be good. Okay. So we're at the stage where we're going to start taking full breaths. And then while we're holding the full breath, manipulating the body. If you've done any packing before, like if you're at the packing workshop and you've been using packing for your breath holds, you can start to do this with whatever amount of packs you've been using for your breath holds. So, is anyone here at the moment, is anyone packing consistently for yeah? So, Brandon, how many
Packs.
3. So let's try it with 3 packs because effectively that's your full breath, right? So that's
Yeah.
So that's what we need to work from there. And Ivan, you've been sort of doing it?
3 or 5, 6. I don't have a nose clip, so I don't know if I'm doing it
messy.
right.
It'll be messy. Okay. No, it makes sense. Well, let's just do it with 3 packs then. Yeah. You lose a lot of air packing without a nose clip, especially on top of a full breath. So it makes sense.
Okay, but I use the fingers to.
That's okay. Yeah, for now, while we're here, just pinch the nose and then do 3 packs, and we'll do it like that.
Roger that.
The first one we're gonna do is we're gonna take a full breath, like a full breath, and we're gonna hold it for about 10 seconds, and then we're going to rotate our arms above our head. This is a very minor stretch, but you can see that as you rotate your arms, how this part of the body will open up and be stretched. We're gonna hold that for another 10 seconds, and then we're gonna come down. Just so you guys know, like this like routine is something you can also do every day. Like, you can see how we move towards the more aggressive stretching in a very gentle kind of manner, starting with dynamic stretching, doing a bit of static stretching, static breathing stretching, and then bang, here we are, ready to use our lungs to stretch the muscles around them. All right, so let's do a full breath. Very nice. We'll do that one more time. We'll move on to another one. And let's go. Take a full breath. Very nice. All right. Next one we're going to be doing is going to be a full breath. And we're going to keep our arms placed on like our knees. And we're going to open up and hold this open position like this. So we're going to be basically directing the stretch into the front of our chest and the front of our intercostals there. That stretch was something that was a bit more gentle along the arm. This will be a more aggressive one. If you feel dizzy or lightheaded, just stop. And if you feel any sort of like uncomfortable feelings, just stop as well. All right, nice big full breath. We'll hold this for about 10 seconds and we'll let it go. Whew. Yeah, nice.
My dog hates it when I hold my breath.
They do that.
The dog.
Smart cookies.
All right, so let's do that again. When we do this one, maybe it was just the camera angle I'm looking at, but like I want to see you sort of open up maybe a little bit more. So like let's like really, yeah, like you know that position you go into when you take the chest breath where you really like pull everything forward? That's kind of what we're after, but with the whole full breath, just holding this position.
Should we be using nose clips?
Do you know what? There won't be a huge benefit to a nose clip, but yeah, it will probably make the final breath more controlled. So yeah, it'd be let's use the nose clip. Why not? If you got it and you want to use it, go for it. But it's not a necessity for these ones. All right, let's go again. Full breath. Oh, beautiful. Jeff, with your packing, try not to lift your chin up and down. I know there's like it feels intuitive to do it. It feels like you should be doing it, but you want to be, because the movement is mostly with the throat anyway. So try to just like control it with the throat and not like do these ones. It'll probably feel weird at first, but you know, in freediving, anything that feels weird is usually good because it's different. Okay. Next one, exact same thing, except we're going to be wrapping our arms around and leaning forward like this on the full breath. So this will again be another quite intense one. Good stuff. All right, we're gonna do the exact same thing again, except this time when we now hold this position, we're gonna allow ourselves to rock from side to side, so that we place more pressure one at a time on each shoulder blade. All right. The next one is going to be targeted to the intercostals. So we're going to take the full breath in. We're going to lean over to the side and stretch out like this as much as you can. In this position, you can just put a hand on the floor or whatever and just see what you can comfortably do. With this one, it's really important that we don't do any kind of like pumping. That we just find the position and we hold it. Okay. Now the other side. Woo! Very nice. Okay, this next one, maybe not very comfortable for some people, but it's effectively, we're going to be taking in a full breath. Bartosz is here. Tell him, when Bartosz gets here, tell him that he's late and that this is scheduled specifically for him to be on time and that we're all very disappointed. So we're going to take a full breath and we're going to lower ourselves into a cobra position. So I find it easier to sort of like be in like a little kneeling position like this. Take my full breath and then flops forward.
Hello.
Hello, Mr.
I can't join today
What?
the workshop. Yeah, I'm just in the middle of work and I'm in the car. I'm driving.
Are you telling me that you prioritize your work above coming to this live stream?
Okay, I'll do like a 5 minutes. Sorry guys. Oh my god, I missed it so much.
It's good to see you, bro. We'll see you when we'll see you when you were able to stay up late or whenever it works. But it's good to see you anyway.
So the next session is on Friday?
Friday at 5 p.m.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. I'll be there.
All right, bro. We'll see you there.
Okay, I'm gonna just join the view. I'm gonna see what's going on, but I'm gonna turn on the video.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Bye bye. Thank you.
All righty, guys. So full breath. Whoa. Did you feel that in the abs?
Couldn't see what you're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was on a black screen with Bartov's name in it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Bartosz, you might have to turn your microphone off. The indicator on your car keeps stealing the screen.
I'm sorry for that.
That's all good.
It's off now.
All right, guys, let's do that one again. This is really for our lower intercostals and our abs. So full breath. And get into this one nice and slow. You know, don't rush your getting to this position. So there's stages to it. So first we take the breath, then we go on the hands and knees, and we lower ourselves into the position. Good stuff. Okay. So now we're basically at the stage where we would start packing. So this is where like at this sort of level is where like we would stop with most beginners. But so like, you know, because you've basically just done a whole bunch of stretching while you had air, you know, like lungs full of air. So, but if we're already packing for our breath holds and we're looking to keep increasing that, like this is when we start to work on increasing our packing capacity, because we are like totally warm and open and everything is, you know, we're in prime position for it. So if you want to follow this along, follow it along, and if you don't, just chill and watch. It's basically going to be like, we're just going to increase the amount of packs that we take and just see how we go. When we do packing, we don't do any stretching, like no exception. There's no need to do it. Like I said before, I was chatting recently to Matt Molina, and he was like, Matt Molina has like 4 extra liters of air than a person of his size should have. And I said, like, you know, like, do you do any stretching for it? He's like, no, I've never once done any stretching. I've just been packing for many, many years for my breath holds, packing and having contractions and all that jazz. And that just makes everything bigger. So this is obviously like, you know, taking the shorter route to getting there by doing these exercises. But there's no need to like pack and then like twist and, you know, move around. It's just way too much on the body. So when we pack, we just pack and we stay still and we hold it. So we got people so far working with 3 packs. So let's just start at 3 packs. So full breath. Keep those shoulders relaxed as we're packing. And Lubo, just so you know, I did a workshop on packing, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So if you want to check out the video, it'll be, if you just scroll down, probably after we're done here, like if you just scroll down and have a look, you'll see the video was, yeah, I think about.
I was looking, but I think it was one of the first with Zoom, and I wasn't really confident to join it.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It is quite an advanced technique, so it's probably something you don't need to be doing now. But if you want to do it for a bit of fun, then, you know, it's a bit of fun.
I understand.
Cool. Okay, so let's increase to 4 packs. Now 5 packs. Hi, Sachin's friend. stuff. All right, so people who have been packing, how many packs have you been working with so far?
I think 3 or 5.
Only really been
3 quality. 5.
Okay, well let's keep going. Let's go to 6 and then we'll go to 7 to see how we feel.
Cool.
This is number 6, so 6 packs. Very nice. All right, we'll do one more at 7. And if it's feeling tight already, then stop. But if it's not and you're feeling okay, then we'll roll on to 7. Probably should be feeling more loose than ever before after what we've just done as well. Good stuff. Cool. So that's as much as we have for increasing our total lung capacity. Now let's look towards increasing our comfort with pressure, increasing our comfort with our lungs decreasing in volume, and the inward flexibility of our thoracic cavity. So really simple. This is a lot less involved, especially if you've already done all of that work to really get all those muscles moving and warm. We don't need to do a whole bunch of warm-ups or anything to go inward. We're just going to do a whole bunch of stomach vacuums. Now, stomach vacuums need to be as controlled as packing does. So you need to know exactly how many reverse packs you can do and keep it measured from there, because we don't want to just like reverse pack, and suck the stomach up until it feels uncomfortable. You never want to feel uncomfortable here. And just so you know, obviously the risk of injury when we do this exercise is low, but the consequence of injury is very high. If you injure yourself doing these exercises, there's a very high likelihood you'll have breathing issues for the rest of your life. Because if you tear, damage, strain your diaphragm, or the tendons that connect your diaphragm to the different parts of your body, like that's a big issue in your life. So once again, we keep it gentle. There's no need to be super aggressive with it. So we're going to do the first one like we usually do, just a passive exhale, and then a stomach vacuum where we suck the stomach in. We'll work from there. All right. Next one, we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to lift the chest up after we hold it. It's going to look like this. Good, and very nice. So I might just, for the sake of you following everything along, you don't have to take your shirt off. You can if you want, Ivan. You can if you want. I just thought it'd be easier for the demonstration. All right. So the next one is going to be a forced exhale. So first do our passive exhale, then move to our forced exhale. Good stuff. I'm going to aim to do the next one with a slightly more aggressive forced exhale. We want to be fairly close to our residual volume on the next one, fairly close. You might even want to lean over as you exhale. Good stuff. All right, now we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to start reverse packing. So we're going to do 2 reverse packs, sucking the air out from the lungs and blowing it out of the mouth. Passive exhale, forced exhale, 2 reverse packs, then suck the stomach in. That's what it will do. Cool. Now we'll do 4 reverse packs. On this next one, we're going to start to massage down on the ribs. And towards the end, I want you to start to massage down in the center of your chest while you hold the stomach vacuum. Very nice. How's that feeling?
Okay.
Any tightness?
Yeah. I think maybe 4 or 3 is good for now.
Okay, so that's where your limit is, right? So like when you feel the tightness, that's where we have to stop. So we can't go beyond that point. Does anyone else feel okay to keep going? Maybe try 6. Yeah, well, let's just try.
I can do 6. I can do 6.
Okay, well, let's do 6, and then we'll stop there. And then obviously, you know that like as you make this a part of your routine, you just slowly increase the number of reverse packs that you do. You know, it's just a process. Okay, so we'll try 6. Woo! Good stuff. Whew. Is more or less it. That is us having spent almost an hour increasing our total lung capacity and then increasing the size of our lungs so we can still access the air. So what I wanted to do now was try something that I know you guys love, which is a no warm-up max apnea walk. Because it is important. Who
Love it.
what-
Yeah.
So yeah, who remembers why it's important to do no warm-up max apnea walks?
Zombie walks and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the reason why it's important is that we have to, the more we do this, the more we train the body to turn the mammalian dive reflex on faster, stronger. You don't even have to do, when I say max, I mean like you'll have a whole different idea of what you can accomplish no warm-up max, right? So like warm-up max will be different than no warm-up max. And then eventually one day your no warm-up max will be bigger than your warm-up max. But right now it's going to be much smaller. So whatever you did last time or whatever you think you can do, that's all you're aiming to hit. You're not aiming to hit your actual max, your warmed max. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Lubo, have you done apnea walks with us before?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, let's do it, guys. And Jeff, you've done it as well?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So get yourself into a seated position. We're just going to do one of these. There is one more exercise I'm going to get you guys to do just before we leave, but we'll do it after this. So where's my phone? Use my phone as a timer because I haven't got my computer. All right, let's take 2 minutes to breathe. And we're breathing. Relaxed, passive, tidal breathing. One minute to go. Thirty seconds. Hyperventilate now if we want. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full breath. Full. Take a moment to just pause in your seated position before you stand up. Don't just stand up straight away. Now, slowly start to stand and walk. As soon as you start walking, you want to focus right on that stomach, making sure the stomach is totally disengaged and relaxed. No tension in that stomach from that final breath and from crunching to stand up. Diaphragm is totally relaxed as well. Shoulders are dropped. Chest is relaxed. We're just a slow walking zombie. It's been over 1 minute already. $1:15. Good work, Sachin. $1:30 now. Good work, Lubor. $1:45. Good stuff. 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes now. 2 zombies remaining. $2:15. Good work. 2:30. Oh, Jeff, 2:34. Good stuff, guys. Hey, that was a lot bigger than I was expecting.
Oh,
Competition.
Yeah, they don't, it's like when you do it no warm-up, you feel everything. There's no masking the discomfort. It's all there. You're like, oh my God. So yeah, but it's good. It will get you to the point where you can do it and feel comfortable, and then you're basically going into max breath holds without having fatigued the body with previous breath holds at all. So.
wow. Cool stuff.
It's a process, you know what I mean? It's a process. Get there slowly. Cool. The other exercise I wanted to show you guys.
You fell into it.
Sorry, Jeff?
When you fell into diving, you really fell into it, man.
Totally. So, you know, when I fell into diving, I was a backpacker, and I had been a backpacker for a few years. So the prospect of being a diving bum, someone who zipped around the world and had no money for many years, was like, I was already doing it. So I was like, oh, I'm already broke and traveling. So now I'll just be broke traveling, and I'll swim down the line. So this last exercise is, this is a can of glue. Last exercise for anyone who has any tightness in the top of their chest here, which is most men, so, this becomes an issue for some people when they're diving. It leads to them having trachea squeezes, or it leads to them like holding on to tension, which can lead to lung squeezes, or it leads to them like losing their mouthfeel due to the discomfort. And there's a really simple thing you can do to get rid of that. I used to do this with like a metal drink bottle, or you can use heaps of other similar, anything that's kind of like, this shape and hard. You want to wrap it in a towel because you don't want that hard surface to make direct contact with the chest. But what you do is you just place it right here on the upper chest, and you just like lay into it, and you just sit there for about 5 odd minutes, or however long you kind of can comfortably, and just breathe deeply into your chest. And it really like presses everything along the center of your chest. In the cartilage, it presses it all in, and it really quickly will increase your flexibility and your comfort with having things pressed in there. This is very much a thing for men. men have a lot of issues with flexibility right here, especially men who have ever gone and done bench press and things like that, because that's like, it just destroys everything here in terms of flexibility, but makes you very, very you know, what can we do?
Finally, something comes up my way.
Cool. So I just thought I'd throw that one in there. You probably do that one towards the end as well, when everything is really properly warmed up. You don't want to go in cold on that one, but it is really good. Most high level male freedivers do this. If they don't do it all the time, it's something they do, you know, in their pre-season before they're diving, so that they make sure they go into their diving all loose in the upper chest area there. So yeah. Anyway, here I am reclined on the floor at the end of all this. So yeah,
All your face.
with all my faces all over my body.
That's your boost to sell the shirt, man.
I really should.
And a little caption, like, just all you have to do is like put a little caption that says "I love whales," and that'll sell.
Good one.
That's true. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I can speak to Aaron about that. Did you have any questions about anything, or should we finish up there?
I have some personal question. What is your PB on doing static breath hold?
7 minutes.
Cool.
So I'd never really trained static a lot until recently. So another fun fact. The circle of freedivers that I used to train with and hang out with, static breath hold was seen as like something you do when you're a beginner. You know, you work up to a reasonable level and then you go and you do your diving or whatever you're doing, because it's like, it doesn't have a big translation. And then the more and more that time has gone on, the more I realized that there was actually quite a large hole in my freediving game. And a lot of that was because I hadn't trained static breath hold since about 2012. You know, I did like a PB of 6.5 minutes in 2012, and I was like, woo, fantastic, I'll stop there. And then I didn't. I literally have not done anything beyond that in that period of time. And then this year and last year, I started training static breath hold, you know, because I like knowing that it was an important thing, having like, you know, spoken to a lot of other freedivers and all this kind of jazz, and realizing that there were holes in my game. And what I'm realizing is that now that I'm doing a lot of regular static breath hold, is that my comfort during all my other breath holds has increased greatly. Especially my ability to hold my breath for longer without experiencing the urge to breathe. So it translates over into my dives. It translates over into my dynamic as well. So now I train it regularly, and I haven't tried to do too many maxes. So I've done 7 minutes, and then I kind of was like, oh, okay, I'm cool there. So, you know, pretty soon I'll go for another max again, or, you know, just whenever we're feeling it, and see how we go. It'd be nice to do like 8 minutes. I think I should. I think I should be able to do 8 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I can right now. You know, I think that if I held my breath for 8 minutes, I'd be unconscious. But I think I should be able to, within the next maybe few months, work towards an 8-minute breath hold if I do things correctly. But we'll see how we go.
I think that's the Australian static record. 8 minutes, few seconds.
Yes, it is. But that wasn't my motivation, Sachin, just so you know. I just thought 8 minutes was cool.
What do you think you could do with what do you think you could do with full oxygen, like 100% oxygen?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like 15 or.
I think so.
I've never done like a max breath hold with oxygen, because it's really dangerous. Okay. If you black out, it's not a simple resuscitation.
Oh.
There's a lot of other things involved, and so you need to be like properly revived. So you need to have quite a good medical team on board with you when you're doing that. So I've never had never bothered to organize it all.
I watched that video just recently with the 24 minutes. That was that's crazy.
That is crazy. Yes, it is.
It looks inhuman, man. So yeah, like seven looks inhuman.
Yeah, well, you know, 7 feels inhuman until you're there, you know. And I mean, what's your PB now, Jeff?
Just 4 minutes, but
Why
that's
just
just
4 minutes? You tell the average person that you can hold your breath for 4 minutes and they'll shit their pants.
Very true.
yeah, but I feel like it's just 4 minutes right now because I just found your class and I've just started. So it's like, like I got more potential, I hope.
So much more. So much more. Next week we're gonna do longer breath holds again. We're gonna just let's not throw any expectations out there, but we'll see how we go. I think you'll be happy.
I got my suit pretty much squared away and ordered.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna go with the Oceaner CO45.
Good. They're good suits.
Do it once and I get it right the first time and
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool.
Adam, I have a science question for you.
So the science, yes.
Okay. So as we dive, partial pressure of all the gases in our lungs increase.
Yeah.
Now, that also means then that partial pressure of CO2 is also increasing. So does that mean as you get deeper and deeper, your contractions will come on sooner? Or the urge to breathe will come on sooner?
It, for whatever reason, actually tends to be the opposite. Because we all have the partial pressure of oxygen increasing. So I think that like all things being equal, they should remain the same, if that makes sense. And to be honest with you, I don't know the full science of it. Like I will tell you flat out when I don't know. But for what it does tend to be the opposite.
Okay.
I have actually heard people explain the science of it. And then I promptly forgot.
We had it
cool.
class for level 2, and it's apparently that's there is the science around it, and that's why you black out when you go up, and it's basically the risk area is between 10 to 0 meters, not when you're deeper, basically, and it's all linked to the partial.
Yes. That's for oxygen only though. What you're describing is the partial pressure of oxygen in relation to like a shallow water blackout. But like it gets a little bit more I suppose like complex because there are 3 other gases that we're playing with, right? So we have the oxygen, we have our nitrogen, and then we have CO2. And like how much CO2 are we making? Well, it's in relation to how much O2 we've used and how much CO2 we kept in our body during our preparation. So it gets a little bit more like wishy-washy, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and then thinking about it too, because if we're adding CO2 down at depth, when we go back up, that partial pressure decreases.
Totally.
So theoretically, then we could also potentially experience. Maybe that's what you're saying, like. People experience less of an issue because when you start to actually get the urge to breathe, you're further along in your dive. And then as you go back up again, that partial pressure decreases. So you feel your lungs are registering less of a partial pressure of CO2 and therefore maybe.
Yes. But then also we have our 2 narcotic gases. So CO2 is a narcotic gas. It makes you feel high. So, as you go down deeper and things increase, like your feedback becomes lesser and your urge to breathe decreases. Maybe you're having contractions, but your urge to breathe decreases. And then your nitrogen increases, which is also a narcotic gas, which makes you feel happy and high. So there are so many variables. There are so many variables that I suppose that, now that I'm thinking about it, the reason why I never, I suppose, made the effort to really learn and remember all the science involved in all these things, because I didn't really think it was applicable. I might be wrong, you know what I mean? Like I have been wrong many times before. It just seemed like there were so many individual things going on. and everyone experiences each of these gases differently. Everyone experiences the narcosis differently from both gases, and everyone experiences the urge to breathe differently. Everyone experiences contractions differently. And it's very hard to get any kind of real feed from someone that can say that you can turn around and say, okay, cool. Well, as I go down, because of this gas, I should feel like this. And then because of this gas, I should feel like this. And because of this gas, I should feel like this. I think that everyone kind of just like, everyone as time goes on, you have your own picture for your own dives. And you can riddle out how you get that picture by thinking about how the gases play with each other. But it's quite a lot of variables on quite a lot of people.
Totally. Okay, I was just curious.
No, of course. I just don't have the answer.
That's okay.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, in that case,
Before we go, how often should we do these long stretches?
you can do these twice a week. I think is okay. I think anything more than twice a week, your muscles won't have repaired themselves from the previous session. So maybe even let's rephrase that. Let's say put 2 to 3 days of rest in between each one. That'll be the way to go.
Okay.
Cool. All right, guys. Have a very wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon.
Night.
Friday. Lubor will get you packing soon.
I will look at it.
You don't have to. Just for fun if you want to. Just
I
follow us along more.
I want to improve in any area, but I'm still struggling with the tension when I take full breath.
Okay, yeah. Well, then maybe we won't rush there yet. I was just more in the mode of having fun, but we'll go nice and slow.
But you're right that I just joined few sessions and it's getting better, so it probably will go away soon.
Fantastic. Cool.
See you guys. I have to go back to work.
Oh, enjoy, guys. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one.
All right,
guys.
bye.
Bye.